All right, guys. The point guard situation at the New York Knicks is terrible.
Take note.
Big Meech.
We're here.
I'm an analyst.
It's different this time.
Pretty bad game for us today. Lose to Philly at home opener technically. But we lose here 109-89. Bad game all around. Honestly, I'm surprised it was so close. It felt like the score was a lot more than that. We just didn't have the energy tonight. Philly, a better team, and you can just see it. They started getting into their action, their motion offense. Even the bench was moving the ball pretty well. Ben Simmons dominated. RJ struggled. Just wasn't our day. And this is going to happen when we play teams that are this much better than us. So let's see what we can take away from this game. I think the biggest takeaway for me this game is just that the point guard play for the New York Knicks is absolutely atrocious. It is so bad. I'm knocking things over. It is so poor. Alfred Payton wasn't that bad last year. He was pretty bad in terms of what you need from a modern point guard. But if you really look at his actual play on the court, it was okay. Below average, but okay. This year, he's even looking at what he did last year. He seems to have fallen off from that. I actually thought he would probably be more consistent this year. He is far worse. He cannot hit an outside jumper. And then the things he supposedly does well, getting to the rim, kind of running the offense a little bit, it seems he forgot to do that as well. He's not even looking at the basket most possessions at this point. So it's a guy who has no confidence left, doesn't seem to know what he wants to do on the court. And as your vet that you re-signed, that's just a really bad look. I was really angry at the time of the signing, not because of Alfred Payton per se, but because you have point guards that cannot shoot. So I'm thinking, get on the market. If you're going to keep Frank and DSJ, at least get a point guard that can shoot. Alfred Payton cannot shoot. He's proving it even more this season. But his general point guard play is poor as well. That makes him a totally ineffective player. And he's not a guy who's necessarily getting better. You got Frank and DSJ on rookie deals, expiring contracts. Alfred's play was so bad, I had to get some water. We back. All right. DSJ and Frank expiring contracts. You want to see what you have from them. I want to see Jared Harper. I just don't see the point in Alfred Payton right now. And I'm hoping Tim makes this change soon. DSJ played today. He doesn't know what he's doing either. Had a nice little flash at the end. But with Dennis Smith Jr. currently, it still feels like even if he's a little bit better than last season, he's still not necessarily a good player in any way. His shot, he hit like the side of the backboard on one, but like he missed the rim completely. And then his offensive play just seemed iffy as well. Frank got some minutes at the end, but you really can't judge anything off of that. Frank hasn't really done anything so far, but I will say that if you look at last season, the end of last season, when Frank was the backup point guard, that was the most consistent play we got out of him. Him and RJ, there was some chemistry there. So honestly, given what I'm seeing on the court, I feel like IQ and Frank should be getting the bulk of the PG minutes. That said, I don't think Tibbs really sees Frank as a point guard. And I think when Rivers comes in, Rivers takes that role completely. You already saw Burks get some minutes today at point guard. So the point guard situation is dire and it's making things harder for everyone else, especially this guy, RJ, who really struggled tonight. The stat line for RJ was not pretty, but at 10.6 rebounds, 4 assists. He kept battling overall. He's still doing some nice things on the court, but I will see 1 for 14. Yeah, RJ couldn't buy a bucket tonight. Ben Simmons put RJ in Alcatraz in Guantanamo Bay. Ben Simmons was just all over him. Ben Simmons is an elite defensive player, and tonight he really showed it. Once he gets engaged, he's a hard guy to get past on defense. He's disciplined. He's athletic enough to make up when he makes mistakes. But other than that, he actually understands defense on an intellectual level as well. He was just all over RJ, made things so difficult for him. As Clyde said in the broadcast, Ben Simmons is faster and stronger than RJ. And he can jump higher. So at that point, you literally have someone who does everything RJ does, but way better. Except obviously Ben Simmons can't shoot, but you could see how he can be effective even without being able to hit an outside jumper. Kai brought it up as well. If Ben Simmons can hit a jumper, Jesse would be a top 5, top 10 guy in the league. No question about it. RJ just really struggled, but it's good to see him still fighting, right? He was there on defense, battling, still moving the ball, still trying to do the right thing. So that's the thing I like about RJ. He'll never just completely be a wallflower in a game. He's going to get some things going regardless. But really poor game for him. Going to the rim, you saw those limitations today with his lack of athleticism. He still got to the line, like I said, so he still keeps pushing, which is very good. Free throws have been a little bit iffy. But when it comes to RJ, I think he still needs to get craftier around the rim. His lack of raw athleticism, especially in terms of just like jumping ability, is going to limit him when it comes to finishing around bigger defenders. So I want to see more of that. But he gets to the line, which is still good. But these games are going to happen. He's not going to see a guy like Ben Simmons every night. So I'm not too worried about RJ going forward. Let's move on here. Julius Randle was actually pretty good tonight. Again, Randle, but 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Even if he had some iffy moments in there, a bad pass, a turnover, some poor defense, he is playing how you want him to play for this team. This is what the Julius Randle that I think Knicks fans would like. I tweeted this out on like December 17th. I said the only version of Julius Randle that works with these Knicks is kind of who he was in his last season in LA before he went to the Pelicans. He was a much more in control guy. He was moving the ball a la Draymond Green. He was picking his spots, playing defense. And even though he's scoring a lot more currently in his role here, you can still see he's picking his spots. He's looking to pass. He's moving the ball. He's battling on defense. He's giving effort. Still a little bit undisciplined at times and still some mistakes here and there. But the team was so bad today that if Randle plays like this or anything like this with the rest of the guys doing better, his play is only going to be elevated. So in a losing effort, he was by far the best player on the team along with Alec Burks, who scored 22 tonight. So good to see from those two. The team's got to pick it up. Burks, want to touch on him really quickly. Burks is a good veteran. This guy's going to score 15 to 16 points per game, I think, pretty easily for us. He's the Marcus Morris. Hopefully we can flip him at the deadline for something. Or if it makes sense, keep him. Really like this guy. He knows how to get buckets. He's a baller. You can see how he moves along the court. It's pretty easy for him. But our guard play, our point guard play is such a problem. And with Emmanuel quickly still out for a little bit, we'll see. They say day to day. I don't expect him to play against the Bucks, but maybe the game after. Quickly, to me, 100% wins the starting spot just by default, because you could say that the other point guards basically all played themselves out of contention. I would say out of DHJ, Alfred, and Frank. And I'm going to sound like a Frank fanboy right now, but Frank is the only one I would say on the court so far this season hasn't really ruined anything. DHJ hasn't shown anything, and Alfred has been outright bad. Frank, like I said, did end last season well. So if it's anything, I would like to see him maybe get the backup point guard minutes in the next game, just as we're trying to figure this out. But once IQ comes back and he's ready, he has to go. He has to play the bulk of the minutes. I don't want to see these other point guards playing. I want to see Jared Harper maybe get some minutes. The point guard play is bringing down the team. It is dire. Been waiting for a point guard in New York for so many years. And finally, hope maybe we get one in quickly. He goes out in the first game. Hopefully it's not too long. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think of Randle? What do you think of RJ struggle tonight? What do you think of the point guard play? Should Payton be on this team at all? What should we do in the meantime until Quickly's back? A lot of questions to be answered. But regardless of this loss and the Knicks form so far this season, hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you're celebrating safely. We'll see you guys next time. Mom's is going to come back. I got her the city uniform for Christmas. She probably watched it tonight wearing it. However, clearly not good luck for us. Clyde was also going in on the uniform. I felt bad for the guy. But Knicks lose 109-89. I still feel like it was a lot closer score-wise than it felt on the court. It felt like we were totally outmatched. I'm interested to hear what Tibbs says in the post-game. He was pretty angry at some of those defensive possessions. He cannot be happy with this. Knicks need a change. It's not getting easier with the Bucks tomorrow. We got to start getting some victories. I know we play Cleveland soon as well. Knicks got to start getting this season underway. All right, guys. Peace.